Hello everyone. Today I'm here with only a short little video talking about my future plans with this channel and the videos I will be making, since a lot of you ask me if I could do a video about specific topics and when or if I will cover the Asmodean campaign and such. So let's talk first about the creation of this channel. I started this channel basically as a passion project, because I played and loved Aeon so much many years ago. So I wanted to do Aeon videos and started with a few guides, like good settings to start a game with as a beginner, or how to make good money, or how to unlock the Draupnir Cave waterfall teleport, and many more. I also wanted to cover more PvP, which I did a lot of in the beginning of Classic Aeon, and even much more many years ago. But due to the rising pay-to-win, people doing AP trading and Gameforge not really punishing them, it's demotivated me because it made any PvP achievement worthless. And therefore I sadly quit PvP, because I don't want to waste my time like this. And that is when I decided to shift my focus to PvE stuff and the lore of Aeon. The lore of Aeon always interested me, even many years ago when I first started playing Aeon. But as many of you know, the lore of Aeon is very difficult to comprehend if you just play through the game without paying close attention. The story being told by many campaign and also side quests that are sometimes 10 levels apart is not something that is helping the player understand it. I mean, yes, players do get an overall gist of the story, by the few cutscenes in the game, but the majority of the story and lore is hidden in a lot of texts and storybooks, which are not so easy to find. Anyway, this is why my current video series is the Ilios lore. In this video series I play through the entire Ilios campaign and also do a lot of side quests and then explain the story summarized to all of you. Now the format I'm using for this video series is not the funny and entertainment filled videos people are mostly used to. It is more of an accurate documentation of the entire Ilios campaign from start to finish, with all the extra information I could find and I deem somewhat important. There's a lot of you that actually like this series, and I'm very grateful and happy about that. It brings me joy to see how many others also like the lore and have these fond memories of Aeon because they played it in the past. So let's now get to the point of why I even make this video. Over the time I made these Aeon videos, many of you have asked me to cover specific topics and when or if I will also cover the Asmodean lore the way I did with the Ilios lore. First of all, my plan for now is to complete the Ilios lore video series and in the future to stay up to date with it. Meaning when a new patch arrives, I will continue the Ilios lore video series in this documentation format I'm using for it right now. But I also plan to make videos about specific topics, which are maybe a bit less serious, more casual, more entertaining. And there I will tackle the topics either you guys recommend or I myself am curious and passionate about. To give another example, it could also be videos about the Aeon comics that are only available in Korean anymore. But some good people are working to translate those comics themselves, and you can see the translation and the progress in our Discord server, which is linked in the description if you're interested. I have one more project I've thought about for a while now, and slowly I'm gearing up to do it. It is a little Aeon quiz, but I'm still a bit unsure about the questions I should use. Because sometimes I pick a question and then I'm like, I think that's too easy, everyone will know that. And then I remember that not everyone is that involved with the Aeon lore, and then the question might even be too hard. So if you guys have suggestions about questions I could use for the quiz, feel free to comment them or post them in our Discord server. And lastly, I want to mention that even though 90% of the videos on my channel are about Aeon, I will still sometimes post videos about other games or news I find interesting. It probably won't happen that often, since I'm using my streams for random games, but I'm sure I will find some interesting topics and games to cover in the future. I think this covers most of the questions about the direction we will take with future videos, but to answer some more questions, here are some from all of you. The first one is from Lynn MVD. Hey, wondering, are you doing Asthma campaign too? Not right now. We're still not done with the Ilios campaign, and there are also a lot of other important topics we should cover. I do want to cover the Asmodean story, but maybe in a few shorter, not as detailed videos as I'm doing with the Ilias campaign. However, I will keep thinking about it, and depending on what all of you are asking for, I will make my decision then. Asmodee has a lot of interesting places after all. The second one is from Aurora Valkyrie. Valkyrie? Am I saying this right? I hope so. I was always so curious about Dark Poeta's story. Will you make a video solely on this instance? I could, but I think I will wait a bit longer on that. Because even though Dark Poeta was introduced with 1.0, its creation is tied to Seal's Relic, which is playing a big role in the 2.0 story and onwards. So you will find out more about Dark Poeta in the upcoming Ilias campaign videos, and afterwards I will surely make a complete video about all of Dark Poeta. The next one is from Sergio Kratos 69. Was Phrygian killed or attacked in the story till now? On live server story, I don't know. No, Phrygian was neither killed nor attacked. We only have the one story cinematic, I think it was 5.0, where we actually see him in his dragon form. Other than that, we only see his shadow flying over Theobomos in 1.0, and we hear about his doings behind the scenes as the Balaur Overlord. As for the other Dragon Lords, Meslamtada is the one we know absolutely nothing about, other than the bits we see in the Verteran story, which tells us about him attacking the Sumian Shrine and that Meslamtada's shrine was in Verteran, the Shrine of the Crimson Dragon. Ereshkigal has been killed in 6.0 or so. Beritra has been defeated but reappeared in I think 7.0. Tiamat has been killed very early on in 3.0. In retail. In classic, we don't know yet. And the previous rank 5, Apsu, is thought to be dead, killed by Tiamat to take his position as the Dragon Lord. But signs hint that he is not necessarily dead and gone, as we seem to journey into Apsu's land in the Korean patch of the game. This one is from Avis Hayatas 7753. I'm so butchering these. Where was his love at game's peak? Thank you for this. Well, I was probably out doing PvP and all. I had no clue about the story back then, even though I was always interested in it. Thank you for watching and commenting, I'm glad you enjoy my videos. And the last one is from Sineri. Is it still worth playing EU Classic or starting again? Are the servers still full, and can you find groups for instances? I can't really tell you that. The server is still busy, it doesn't have an endless amount of players like in the good old days, but you will be able to play and find groups for anything without any problems. As for the state of the game, sadly a lot of rising pay to win and a lot of bots, leading more into if you want to have fun, you have to pay a lot. But if you are only interested in the story and PvE like me these days, it is still good and feels very nostalgic to dive back into Aeon for a bit. I personally still think that Aeon has one of the best feeling combat systems ever. But yeah, that's something everyone has to know for themselves. I guess that's it now. I thank you all for your support and your questions. If you have more questions, feel free to ask me either here, in the YouTube comments, or in the Discord server. Have a nice week and see you in the next video. Bye.